Hello everyone, it's Cindy with Monarch Mom DIY. Welcome back to my channel. If you are visiting for the first time, I hope you'll hit that subscribe button and the bell so YouTube will notify you of future uploads. I'm so excited to bring you 4 more thrift store makeovers today. Let's get into it. For this first makeover, I'm using these 2 candlesticks from the thrift store. I'm also using 2 plants from IKEA, 2 terracotta pots, and some chalk paint and floral foam. The first thing I'm going to do is give these 2 candlesticks from Goodwill a coat of Waverly chalk paint in the color ink. I do want them to be black instead of this dark shiny brown. Yeah, real world problems getting the sticker off the bottom. You can use Goo Gone and a blow dryer to heat it up, but it's the bottom, so I didn't worry too much about it. Anyway, give these a good 1 or 2. I only needed 1 coat of the black chalk paint on the entirety of these 2 candlesticks. Next, I'm taking these 2 clay pots I purchased at Walmart for just a couple dollars each. These are 6-inch pots. The bottom is about a 3-inch diameter. I'm taking this very chippy paintbrush and just kind of randomly applying some of my white chalk paint. If you do it where the bristles are, I don't know, wide, it'll give you those streaks, and then if you turn it, you can kind of buff out, blend in the white areas. So just kind of doing however much I feel, and then I'm going to try and kind of make sure that they both have about the same amount of white paint on them, just to give them an old chippy look. The last step for this very easy thrift store makeover is to set your terracotta pots on top of the candlesticks. You can put a little bit of the floral foam from Dollar Tree in the bottom of the pot if you need to, in order to raise up whatever potted plant you're going to put inside. I actually preferred it without the floral foam, but you can use it if necessary. And here's how our first makeover turned out. I love these $5 plants from IKEA, and here you can kind of see how I've staged these with some of my other decor. I will put a link in the description box for the plants. For the next makeover, I'm using that birdhouse box that I thrifted, 4 of the 8x10 canvases from Dollar Tree, some florals, floral foam, floral moss, and some chalk paint. The first thing I did with this carrier, I guess I'll call it, is I did give it a spray paint coat of this light yellow. I just thought this was a nice color for spring. Then what I'm doing is taking some watered down white chalk paint and painting these 6 fence pieces. Next, I decided I'm going to paint the 3 birdhouses. So I used some masking tape to tape off the areas. The left and right birdhouses, I'm going to paint the main part dark gray, which is called elephant, and the middle one, the roof, will be elephant. Then I'm going to do the other pieces of each birdhouse with mineral, which is a light gray. You'll see what I mean here in just a minute. So now that the elephant is dry, I changed my masking tape, and now I'm doing the roof of the left and right birdhouses with mineral, and I'll do the main house of the middle birdhouse with mineral as well. In my last video, you saw me use some of these canvases, these 8x10 canvases from Dollar Tree. This time I'm just going to use the wood frame from each one, but I am keeping the canvas because I'm sure I will be using it in the future. So I need 4 of these for this project. I'm using a staple remover to loosen and remove all of the staples that are holding the canvas onto the frame. This does take a little bit of time, but then you can just unwrap the canvas from these frames. Now, these are a very light wood, so they're pretty easy to glue together. I'm going to glue 2 of them long sides together and do that 2 times, and then glue the 4 together to look like a 4-paned window. And again, I'm going to use my watered down white chalk paint. When I get kind of close to the bottom of the jar of chalk paint, I'll just go ahead and add a little bit of water and use it more of like a whitewash, just because sometimes at the very bottom it is hard to get that chalk paint out, but this works really well. I've done it before and I'm not really needing it to cover solidly anyway. I want it to have, you know, like a rustic farmhouse whitewash look. So like I said, this is very light wood. It's not very difficult at all just to get all of the inside sides all around the outer edges and the front of this window. I did not paint the back. Of course, you could do that if you wanted this to be completely white on front and back, but just go ahead and give it a coat of this watered down white chalk paint. While our window frame dries, now we're going to squeeze our hot glue gun into this little box and squirt some hot glue there. We're going to attach some floral foam to the bottom of our box so that whatever we decide to decorate this with will stay put. Next, taking some hot glue, we're just putting it randomly on the top of the floral foam and using our floral moss to cover up the styrofoam bricks. Now that our window frame is dry, I'm turning it around to the back and we're going to glue this window frame at the top of the handle there to this box. So this is one of those projects where you kind of have an idea in your mind when you start, but then it just kind of evolves as you go along. So here I knew I wanted this somehow to be like a window with a window box, but you'll see that it kind of evolves now as we continue on. I am gluing some jumbo craft sticks. I guess they're not jumbo, they're like large craft sticks to the back where the window frame is attached to the handle, just to give it a little bit more stability, as it is pretty tall and it's standing up there. So that is to give it some more stability, and now we can turn it around and decorate our little window box. So I decided to use lavender for this project. You can see I've already started attaching some around the top, and I'm going to come around this right corner of the window frame. I'm using a combination of lavender florals from Walmart, the $3 one, and then some of the dollar ones, of course, from Dollar Tree. This, of course, is the part of this project that is completely customizable to the florals that you either want to use or that you have on hand, and just kind of playing with everything and taking the time to really just figure out where you want things placed. It does take a little bit of time to securely glue things to the wood, but this part is really fun. So if you decide to make something like this, even just with the 4 frames making a window, I encourage you to just try something new. Try a different floral, a different color than you normally might use, and just have some fun with it. So once you have the florals that you think you want, you can take some little springtime figures. You can find these at thrift stores, Dollar General. I believe this little bird came from Dollar General. You can even buy the ones from Dollar Tree that are in, 2 in a pack. Butterflies you could add to this, whatever you want to make this spring window fit your decor. So this is how I had it last night, and then I wasn't 100% happy with it. I thought that left side was a little bare. So today I came in, I decided to add a couple pieces of this onion grass to the left-hand side just to kind of fill in the space. These 2 bunnies I decided to add were a little bit larger than the white one. These were $2.50 a piece at Dollar General last year. I'm sure they have them again this year or something very similar. I just felt like it filled up the space a little more. You could add more florals down there. Closer to Easter, you might want to put some eggs. And I just really love how this turned out. Just started with this birdhouse planter from a thrift store, and just with some items from Dollar Tree and Dollar General, really finished it off. These 3rd and 4th makeovers have to do with cutting boards I found at thrift stores. Here are some of the other items I'm using for this one. The first thing I'm going to do with this tall, skinny cutting board is give it 2 coats of Waverly chalk paint in the color Crimson. My focus for these last 2 makeovers is my kitchen. I do have red and teal in my kitchen, not a whole lot of it, but I thought it would be nice to bring some more of those colors in, so I'm going to do that with this project. This is like a box sign. They had them for baby boy, baby girl, and then this baby one. I'm painting this with Waverly chalk paint in the color ink, which obviously is black, inside and outside, all over this box. And the ball jar we're going to paint with white chalk paint. Once all of these were completely dry, I sprayed them with a coat of matte clear spray. I'm going to take the blessed word from this wall sticker from Dollar Tree just to add a little bit of a farmhouse look with this font to the top of my cutting board. Then I'm going to take the black box, which now I'm kind of using it as a tray. I'm going to glue this to the bottom of the cutting board. This will be able to stand on a tabletop or a counter, and it will also be able to hang, as you'll see in just a minute. I'm using a combination of wood glue and hot glue to secure this on. The last step for my jar is I'm just taking 1 piece of this nautical rope from Dollar Tree and hot gluing it around 1 time around the top of the jar. With my other piece of rope, I'm going to feed both ends through the hole, leaving a loop, and then pull them through the loop. Then I'm going to tie them in a knot and cut off any extra. This is just so I can maybe put one of those clear command hooks on the wall, or if there's a nail, this can hang on the wall, and my jar is going to go right here in the tray, and I'm going to use this as a little caddy to put some of my smaller kitchen utensils in. And I just love how this turned out. It's going to look so cute in my kitchen. The last one, I'm also using a cutting board, some wood letters and ribbon from Dollar Tree, this wood rack from an old Scrabble game, and some chalkboard paint and crimson chalk paint. So I'm taking some plain old masking tape and I'm going to tape off the areas of my cutting board that I don't want the chalkboard paint. I'm leaving a little extra room here at the top for my wood letters that I'm going to be adding there. And one piece on the side and one piece on the other side. Now chalkboard paint, of course, read the directions on the package. Basically, you're going to do one coat doing up and down strokes. Let that dry for at least an hour. Then you're going to do a second coat using side to side strokes. And then there are instructions on the bottle for how to cure it by rubbing chalk on it and then cleaning it off. So that's what you're going to do with the chalkboard paint. Here I'm taking these wood letters, like I said, from Dollar Tree's craft aisle to spell the word menu and giving them a coat of crimson chalk paint. I'm also going to paint the Scrabble tile rack with the crimson chalk paint as well. This will be used to hold either a chalk marker or an actual piece of chalk for this menu chalkboard. If you cannot find an old Scrabble game that has these racks in them, I do know that you can order them on Amazon. They do make really nice crafts if you decide you wanted to make some of these, maybe even as gifts. I'm considering making some for my craft show this spring. Here I'm just going to glue the rack at the bottom and then glue the letters up at the top of the cutting board. And my last decorative touch for this menu chalkboard cutting board is to use some of this burlap with red polka dot ribbon that I found at Dollar Tree. I'm just doing like the top part of a bow by cutting a piece, wrapping it in a big loop, and then taking a piece of jute twine and tying in a knot at the center. And then I'm just going to hot glue it right under the hole. And here's how our menu chalkboard turned out. I love it. Thanks so much for watching this spring farmhouse thrift store makeover video. Please comment below which of these was your favorite, like you guys always do. And again, if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks so much. Bye.